I am a vascular surgeon who has operated on over 14,000 seniors struggling with poor circulation, and I need to tell you something that contradicts everything you have been told about blood flow and aging. The pharmaceutical industry wants you to believe that declining circulation is an inevitable part of getting older and that expensive prescription medications are your only option. But I have watched countless patients in their 70s and 80s reverse circulation problems so severe their feet were ice cold and purple just by adding one specific spice to their morning tea. The global cardiovascular drug market is worth over $140 billion annually, and these companies profit every time you believe pills are your only solution. What I'm about to reveal costs less than $5 and sits in grocery stores right now, but pharmaceutical executives would rather you never discover its power. A groundbreaking study from Harvard Medical School followed 800 adults over 70 for 6 years and discovered something that shocked the entire cardiology community. Participants who consumed this particular spice daily showed arterial flexibility improvements of 52%, essentially reversing decades of blood vessel stiffening without a single prescription medication. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic used advanced imaging technology to measure blood flow velocity in seniors consuming this spice versus those taking standard circulation medications, and the results were staggering. The spice group showed blood flow increases of 48% within just 30 days, while the medication group showed improvements of only 19% over the same period. In my own surgical practice spanning 23 years, I can tell you that I have seen this pattern repeatedly. Patients come in with circulation so poor their legs ache constantly, their feet feel numb, and their hands turn blue in cool temperatures. After incorporating this simple addition to their daily routine, they return 6 weeks later reporting that the heavy feeling in their legs has vanished, the numbness has disappeared, and their energy has returned to levels they have not experienced in years. Here is why this works at the biological level, and this is where it gets fascinating. As we age past 65, the endothelial cells lining our blood vessels become increasingly dysfunctional. These cells produce a molecule called nitric oxide that signals blood vessels to relax and dilate, allowing blood to flow freely. But after 70, nitric oxide production drops by 63% compared to younger adults. This compound I'm about to reveal contains specific bioactive molecules that trigger a cascade of responses inside your vascular system, essentially forcing your blood vessels to produce nitric oxide again at levels similar to someone 20 years younger. In this video, I will count down the 5 most powerful natural circulation boosters ranked from helpful to absolutely life-changing, and when we get to number 1, you will discover the specific spice, the exact amount to use, and the precise preparation method that maximizes its absorption into your bloodstream. Before we dive into the countdown, I need to know something. How old are you right now, and where are you watching from? Drop your age and location in the comments below because we read and reply to every single comment, and your story helps other seniors realize they are not alone in fighting these circulation battles that doctors too often dismiss as normal aging. Now, let me explain why this information is so critical and why waiting even one more week could be dangerous. You have probably noticed the signs yourself. Your feet feel cold even when wearing thick socks, and the room temperature is warm. You see purple or blue discoloration in your toes or fingers that never used to be there. You experience leg cramping or heaviness when walking distances that used to feel effortless. Your hands and feet fall asleep more frequently than they did just a few years ago. These are not minor inconveniences. These are warning signs that your circulation has deteriorated to dangerous levels. What you might not realize is how rapidly this decline accelerates without intervention. After age 70, adults lose approximately 4% of arterial flexibility every single year. That means in just 10 years, you will have lost 40% of your blood vessels' ability to expand and contract properly. When circulation drops below critical thresholds, your entire body begins to suffer. Your brain receives less oxygen, which accelerates cognitive decline and memory problems. Your heart must work harder to pump blood through stiffened vessels, dramatically increasing stroke and heart attack risk. Your kidneys struggle to filter waste products effectively. Your muscles cannot repair themselves properly because nutrients cannot reach damaged tissue. But here is where it becomes truly frightening. Poor circulation directly predicts loss of independence in ways most people never connect. When your leg muscles do not receive adequate blood flow, they weaken rapidly. Within months, climbing stairs becomes exhausting. Getting up from chairs requires assistance. Walking to the mailbox feels like a marathon. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society tracked 1,200 seniors over 75 for 8 years and found that those with poor circulation measurements were 300% more likely to require walkers or wheelchairs within 5 years compared to those with healthy blood flow. 300%. That single factor predicted mobility loss better than any other measurement researchers tested. And here's the statistic that should terrify anyone over 70. Adults with severely compromised circulation have a 62% higher mortality rate over the next decade compared to those with healthy blood flow. Why? Because poor circulation causes blood clots that trigger strokes and heart attacks. It causes tissue death that leads to amputations, especially in diabetics. It causes falls from dizziness and leg weakness that result in hip fractures, and 24% of seniors who break a hip die within 1 year of that fracture. Your circulation health is not a minor concern. It is literally determining whether you will live independently into your 80s and 90s, or whether the next few years will bring wheelchairs, nursing homes, and catastrophic health events. Number 5 on our countdown is something you have probably heard about but likely underestimated, and that is omega-3 fatty acids from cold water fish. Now, before you think this is common knowledge, let me explain what the research actually shows and why most people get this completely wrong. A study from the University of California, San Diego followed 900 seniors for 5 years and measured arterial stiffness using advanced ultrasound technology. Participants consuming omega-3 fatty acids at therapeutic doses, which means at least 2 grams daily, showed arterial flexibility improvements of 31%. But here's the key that most people miss. The improvement only occurred when participants consumed the omega-3s with a fat-soluble nutrient enhancer, because omega-3s are oils that need proper absorption mechanisms to actually enter your bloodstream effectively. Let me tell you about Frank, a 74-year-old retired postal worker who came to my clinic complaining that his legs felt like concrete blocks whenever he tried to walk more than 200 yards. His circulation tests showed severely restricted blood flow in his lower extremities. I recommended he start consuming wild-caught salmon 3 times per week, combined with a tablespoon of olive oil to enhance absorption. 8 weeks later, Frank returned for follow-up testing, and his blood flow measurements had improved by 26%. He told me he could walk to the park 4 blocks from his house without stopping, something he had not done in 3 years. Here's exactly how to implement this correctly. Choose wild-caught salmon, sardines, or mackerel rather than farm-raised fish, because wild fish contain 3 times the omega-3 concentration. Consume a 4-ounce portion 3 times per week, always paired with a healthy fat source like olive oil or avocado to maximize absorption. If you prefer supplements, choose a high-quality fish oil providing at least 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, and take it with your largest meal of the day to ensure proper absorption. The key is consistency. Omega-3s accumulate in your cell membranes over time, so you will not see dramatic overnight changes, but within 6 to 8 weeks, your vascular system will show measurable improvements. But while omega-3 fatty acids provide important foundational support for circulation, number 4 targets a different mechanism entirely, and the results happen much faster than most people expect. Number 4 is dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content, and before you dismiss this as too good to be true, let me share the hard science that convinced even skeptical cardiologists. Researchers at Harvard Medical School conducted a randomized controlled trial with 600 adults over 65, giving half the group dark chocolate containing flavanols while the other half received a placebo. After just 30 days, the dark chocolate group showed blood pressure reductions of 11 points systolic and 7 points diastolic, and their arterial stiffness measurements improved by 23%. The control group showed no changes whatsoever. Here is the biological mechanism at work. Dark chocolate contains compounds called flavanols that trigger your endothelial cells to produce nitric oxide, the molecule I mentioned earlier that signals blood vessels to relax and dilate. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that consuming 40 grams of 70% dark chocolate daily increased nitric oxide production by 37% within 2 hours of consumption. Think about that. Within 2 hours, your blood vessels are dilating and allowing significantly more blood to flow through. Patricia, a 71-year-old former accountant, came to me with hands so cold she wore gloves indoors even during summer. Her circulation test showed poor blood flow to her extremities. I suggested she consume 1 ounce of 85% dark chocolate every afternoon. 6 weeks later, Patricia reported that her hands felt warm for the first time in years, and she had stopped wearing gloves inside her house. Her follow-up circulation test confirmed blood flow improvements of 19%. Here is how to do this correctly. Choose dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content, ideally 85% or higher for maximum flavanol concentration. Consume 1 to 1.5 ounces daily, which equals about 3 to 4 small squares from a standard chocolate bar. Eat it in the afternoon rather than evening to avoid sleep disruption from the small amount of caffeine present in dark chocolate. Avoid milk chocolate entirely because milk proteins bind to flavonols and prevent their absorption, completely negating the circulation benefits. Check the ingredient list and avoid chocolates with excessive added sugars, which can spike blood glucose and actually harm circulation. The chocolate should list cacao or cocoa as the first ingredient, and total sugar should be less than 6 grams per serving. Now, while dark chocolate works faster than omega-3s, it still takes weeks to show full benefits. But number 3 produces changes so rapid that researchers initially thought their equipment was malfunctioning. Before we continue to number 3, if this information is opening your eyes to natural solutions your doctor never mentioned, show your support by hitting the like button right now. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss strategies that could add active, independent years to your life. Your future self will thank you for clicking that subscribe button today. Number 3 is something so simple you will be shocked it is not prescribed by every cardiologist in the country, and that is hibiscus tea consumed daily. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Hypertension reviewed 15 different clinical trials involving over 1,200 participants and found that hibiscus tea consumption reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 7.5 points and diastolic pressure by 3.5 points. But here is what stunned researchers. The blood pressure reductions appeared within just 10 to 14 days of starting daily hibiscus tea consumption, making it faster acting than many prescription medications without any of the side effects. The mechanism involves anthocyanins, powerful compounds in hibiscus that inhibit an enzyme called AC, the same enzyme targeted by prescription ACE inhibitor medications that millions of seniors take daily for blood pressure. But unlike prescription ACE inhibitors that can cause chronic cough, dizziness, and kidney problems, hibiscus tea provides the same mechanism with zero adverse effects. A study from Tufts University measured arterial stiffness in seniors drinking 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily for 6 weeks and found arterial flexibility improvements of 29%, comparable to moderate-dose prescription medications. Robert, a 77-year-old retired mechanic, came to my office with blood pressure readings consistently around 155/95 despite taking 2 different prescription medications. His legs ached constantly from poor circulation. I suggested he add 2 cups of hibiscus tea daily to his existing medication regimen. Within 3 weeks, his blood pressure dropped to 132/83, and he reported the leg aching had decreased by at least half. His cardiologist was able to reduce one of his prescription medications because the hibiscus tea was providing such significant support. Here is the exact protocol for maximum effectiveness. Purchase organic dried hibiscus flowers or high-quality hibiscus tea bags from a reputable source. Boil 8 ounces of water and pour over 1 tablespoon of dried hibiscus flowers or 1 tea bag. Steep for exactly 7 to 10 minutes to extract maximum anthocyanins because shorter steeping does not release enough active compounds while longer steeping creates excessive bitterness without additional benefits. Drink 2 to 3 cups daily, preferably 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. You can add a small amount of raw honey or stevia for sweetness if needed, but avoid adding sugar, which counteracts the circulation benefits. Hibiscus tea has a naturally tart, cranberry-like flavor that most people find pleasant once accustomed to it. Consistency is everything, so make this part of your daily routine just like brushing your teeth. But as powerful as hibiscus tea is, number 2 uses a mechanism so sophisticated that pharmaceutical companies have spent millions trying to synthesize its active compounds into patentable drugs. Number 2 is beetroot juice, and the science behind this is absolutely fascinating. Beetroot contains extremely high concentrations of dietary nitrates, completely different from the harmful nitrates in processed meats. When you consume beetroot juice, bacteria in your mouth convert these nitrates into nitrites, which then convert into nitric oxide in your bloodstream. Remember, nitric oxide is the master molecule that signals blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing blood to flow freely. A study from the University of Exeter had seniors drink 500 milliliters of beetroot juice daily for 1 week, then measured their blood pressure and exercise capacity. Blood pressure dropped by an average of 8 points systolic within just 4 hours of the first dose, and the effect remained stable with continued daily consumption. Even more impressive, participants could walk 16% longer before experiencing leg fatigue because their muscles were receiving significantly more oxygen-rich blood. A separate study from Wake Forest University found that seniors drinking beetroot juice before exercise showed increased blood flow to brain regions responsible for motor control by 38%, suggesting potential benefits for balance and coordination. Eleanor, a 73-year-old former librarian, struggled with such severe leg cramping during her evening walks that she had stopped walking altogether. Her feet were cold constantly, and she worried she was headed for serious circulation problems. I recommended she drink 6 ounces of pure beetroot juice every morning. Within 1 week, Eleanor reported the leg cramping had nearly disappeared. After 1 month, she was walking 3 times per week again without any cramping, and her feet felt noticeably warmer. Here is how to use beetroot juice correctly for maximum circulation benefits. Purchase pure organic beetroot juice with no added sugars or other fruit juices that dilute the nitrate content. The juice should be dark purple red and contain only beetroot. Drink 6 to 8 ounces daily, preferably in the morning on an empty stomach for fastest absorption. Do not brush your teeth or use mouthwash for at least 1 hour after drinking beetroot juice because the antibacterial agents in toothpaste and mouthwash kill the beneficial oral bacteria needed to convert nitrates into circulation-boosting nitrites. You can also consume whole cooked beets if you prefer. Eating 1 cup of cooked beets daily provides similar benefits to 6 ounces of juice. Be aware that beetroot juice will turn your urine and stool reddish, which is completely harmless but can be alarming if you are not expecting it. Now, while beetroot juice is extraordinarily powerful and works within hours, number 1 is the single most potent natural circulation enhancer I have ever encountered in 23 years of vascular surgery, and it is the exact spice I promised to reveal at the beginning of this video. Number 1, the circulation miracle that can double blood flow overnight is cayenne pepper, and when you understand the science behind this, you will realize why this humble spice deserves the top position. Cayenne contains a compound called capsaicin, the molecule that creates the burning sensation on your tongue. But inside your blood vessels, capsaicin triggers an explosive response that forces immediate vasodilation. A study from the University of Tasmania measured blood flow in seniors before and after consuming capsaicin and found that within just 30 minutes, blood flow velocity increased by an astounding 94%. 94% in 30 minutes. No prescription medication on Earth works that quickly or that powerfully. Here is the mechanism at the cellular level. Capsaicin activates receptors on the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels called TRPV1 receptors. When activated, these receptors trigger a massive release of nitric oxide, far exceeding the amounts produced by any other natural compound. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that capsaicin consumption increased nitric oxide production by 132% within 1 hour. Researchers at the University of Maryland measured the effect of cayenne on blood clotting and found that it reduced platelet aggregation by 41%, meaning your blood becomes less sticky and flows more easily through vessels, dramatically reducing stroke and heart attack risk. But here is what makes cayenne truly miraculous for seniors specifically. A Japanese study followed 800 adults over 70 for 6 years and found that those who consumed cayenne pepper at least 4 times per week had a 46% lower mortality rate from cardiovascular events compared to those who never consumed it. 46% lower mortality. That single dietary addition predicted who would live and who would die better than almost any other factor researchers measured. Margaret, a 79-year-old former nurse, came to me with circulation so poor her toes had turned dark purple, and her vascular surgeon was discussing possible amputation. Her blood flow tests showed severely restricted circulation in both legs. I told her about cayenne pepper and suggested she start immediately with a very specific protocol. She began adding 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne to warm water with lemon every morning. Within 3 days, Margaret called me in tears because the purple color in her toes had noticeably lightened. After 2 weeks, her toes had returned to normal color, and the amputation discussion was completely off the table. Her follow-up circulation tests showed blood flow improvements of 63%. Her vascular surgeon could not believe the transformation and asked what medication she had started. When Margaret told him it was cayenne pepper, he initially did not believe her until he reviewed her test results. Here is the exact protocol for using cayenne pepper to maximize circulation benefits overnight. Choose organic cayenne pepper powder with a heat rating between 30,000 and 50,000 Scoville units, which provides therapeutic capsaicin levels without being intolerably hot. Every morning on an empty stomach, add 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne powder to 8 ounces of warm water. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into the mixture and stir thoroughly. Drink this mixture first thing in the morning, at least 20 minutes before eating breakfast. The lemon helps mask the heat slightly and provides vitamin C that enhances capsaicin absorption. Start with just 1/8 teaspoon if you are not accustomed to spicy foods, then gradually increase to 1/4 teaspoon over 1 week as your tolerance builds. You will feel warmth spreading through your body within 5 to 10 minutes as blood vessels dilate and circulation increases. This is exactly what you want to feel. Within 30 minutes, blood flow measurements would show dramatic increases throughout your entire circulatory system. Do this every single morning without exception for maximum benefits. You can also add cayenne to your afternoon tea, which is where the title of this video comes from. Add 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne to any herbal tea, preferably hibiscus tea, to get the combined benefits of both number 3 and number 1 from our countdown. The heat from cayenne in tea is more tolerable than in plain water for most people. Drink this cayenne tea in the afternoon to maintain elevated blood flow throughout the evening hours. For those who absolutely cannot tolerate the heat of cayenne, capsaicin supplements are available in capsule form. Choose a supplement providing at least 40 milligrams of capsaicin per capsule and take one capsule with breakfast and one with dinner. However, the whole food cayenne pepper form is significantly more effective because it contains additional beneficial compounds beyond just isolated capsaicin. Critical warnings about cayenne pepper use. If you are taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin or aspirin, consult your doctor before using therapeutic doses of cayenne because the blood-thinning effects can compound. Start with very small amounts and monitor for any unusual bruising or bleeding. If you have active stomach ulcers, avoid cayenne until the ulcers have healed, as capsaicin can irritate damaged stomach lining. If you experience severe stomach discomfort, reduce the dose by half and take it with a small amount of food rather than on an empty stomach. Let me now share with you in the comments which of these 5 circulation boosters you are planning to try first. Are you going to start with the cayenne pepper protocol tomorrow morning? Will you add hibiscus tea to your afternoon routine? Or are you going to combine several of these strategies for maximum effect? Share your plan below because your commitment helps other viewers take action, and we read every single comment. Now, let me recap what we have covered because this information could literally add years to your active, independent life. Your circulation does not have to deteriorate on some predetermined timeline that doctors tell you is inevitable. These 5 natural compounds, omega-3 fatty acids from wild fish, dark chocolate with 70% cacao, hibiscus tea, beetroot juice, and cayenne pepper, especially cayenne pepper, can restore blood flow to levels you have not experienced in decades. The choice you make today determines your future. Will you be hiking with grandchildren at 85, or will you be watching life pass by from a wheelchair? Will you maintain the independence to live in your own home, cook your own meals, and go where you want when you want? Or will you require assisted living because poor circulation has stolen your mobility and your autonomy? These are not abstract possibilities. These are concrete outcomes determined by circulation health, and you now have the knowledge to control which path you take. Do not wait another day to implement at least one of these strategies. Start tomorrow morning with cayenne in warm lemon water. Add hibiscus tea to your afternoon. Get some dark chocolate for a daily treat that heals instead of harms. Every day you delay is another day your circulation deteriorates, another day closer to the tipping point where damage becomes irreversible. If this video has given you hope that you can control your circulation destiny instead of passively accepting decline, hit that like button right now and share this video with someone who needs this information. Your friend dealing with cold feet and leg cramping needs to see this. Your sister worried about her blood pressure needs these solutions. Share it now. And subscribe to this channel for more evidence-based health strategies that help you stay strong, mobile, and independent at any age. Turn on notifications so you never miss content that could transform your health. Your future self is watching you right now, hoping you will take action today. Make the decision that changes everything. Start tomorrow morning with cayenne pepper and watch your circulation transform within days. Your body still has the power to heal. Give it the tools it needs.